Soon.
Alright, introduction. So, when my friends and I were at Barnes & Noble, we were wondering if we could find a book that was worse than Twilight. We looked around, and we found Love Sucks. And it did not disappoint. Here you go.
My mother's baby shower. Okay, this is horrifying news on many levels. First of all, I'm 18. Okay, I've only been 18 for a week, but that means I'm no longer 17, and therefore technically I'm an adult. I know how she got pregnant. There's no way I want to think about that, yet it seems to be all I can think about. And let me just say, ew. Seriously? Ew. But the whole, oh my god, my mom is having the sex thing isn't the worst part of this pregnancy debacle. No. Did I forget to mention that my mom is a pregnant vampire? Oh, and lest you think that is the worst part of this mess, the father of said vampire baby is a warlock. Yeah, that's what I said. A warlock. How very melting pot of us. Or would that be cauldron? But that's not all. We're like a paranormal infomercial here in Valley Springs, Mississippi. By getting pregnant, it seems my mom is fulfilling some ancient vampire prophecy. Now, you would think this would be a good thing, but no. Unfortunately, there's a big group of vampire baddies who don't want that prophecy to be fulfilled, because it would seriously screw with their plans for world domination. But guess what? We're still not to the worst part of this story. My stepdad, the warlock who's my mama's baby daddy, is also the daddy of Ryan Fraser, the boy I'm helplessly in love with, and the boy who is now my stepbrother. It's been 5 months since the big baby announcement. 5 long months. In that time, I've managed to find out a lot more about the warlock side of my blended family, thanks to Ryan's Aunt Doreen. I still have a lot to learn, though, because I'm deathly afraid that if the Serpentines realize my mom is pregnant with a warlock's child, all undead hell is going to break loose. And let me just say, I'm in no mood for vampire wars. So as I sit in the living room of our antebellum home with 24 of Valley Springs' finest women oohing and awing over the sweetest little baby gifts you could ever imagine, say that in a Scarlett O'Hara voice and you'll have a pretty good picture of my current nightmare. All I seem to be able to think about is evil vampires, good warlocks, and a possible paranormal apocalypse. Something is really not right with this picture. AJ, did Anna and Ansley have cheerleading tryouts today? My mom's assistant Laura asked me. Did I mention my mom is a doctor? Not just any doctor. A heart specialist. Yes, we sure know the definition of irony here in the Fraser H household. Yes, ma'am. They're excited about moving up from junior high. They can't wait. Well, I've seen 'em perform. They're shoo-ins, I'm sure. I smiled. I sure hope so. My twin sisters had never really dealt with rejection before. Of course, I couldn't imagine them not making it. Beside being blonde and beautiful, they practiced almost 24/7. Plus, my friend Malia was one of the judges. Yeah, they were shoo-ins. Aunt Doreen passed me the latest open gift, a lovely little layette in mint green with fuzzy baby bunny on the breasts. I grinned and passed the gift on to the person next to me. When would my hell be over? Soon, Auntie Tave's voice echoed in my head. It will be over very soon, I promise. I glanced at my flame-haired godmother and smiled. Tave and I had been connected since last year, when she tried to psychically find out if I'd bitten a boy and turned him into a vampire. Something happened during the process, permanently keeping us linked. She can't read my thoughts exactly, but she can feel what I'm feeling. And even though she can't hear the words inside my head, I can hear hers if they're directed to me. And sometimes that's a big pain in my ass. Being connected to Tave kind of keeps me on the straight and narrow now, because there's nothing worse than your mama's best friend being able to spy on your feelings. It's a little frustrating, actually, especially since up until a few weeks ago, I was always feeling so guilty about wanting to pull my stepbrother into my bedroom and make out with him until I couldn't breathe. Thankfully, I had started putting those feelings away. The ladies all stood, and I realized that the layette was the last gift. The shower was coming to an end. Finally. My mom looked tired, but she needed this adult time. She'd been on bed rest because of complications with the pregnancy and had been going stir-crazy. As the crew of crooning women started their farewells, a storm of testosterone entered the room and headed straight for the remainder of the pretty lemon cake. My stepdad, Rick, and my 2 younger stepbrothers, Oz and Raiden, each cut themselves a slice big enough to feed a third-world country. Ryan came in shortly after and did the same. We made eye contact, and I fought the old squiggly feeling in my belly when his dark-colored gaze caught mine. "How'd the shower go, hon?" Rick asked Mom as he wrapped an arm around her growing waist and kissed her on the neck. "Did we score a bountiful booty?" "We got lots of booties, you punny, punny man. And because I had to do all the heavy lifting of opening the gifts, you get to write the thank you notes." "Lucky me." He smiled again, but worry tinged his brow. "You look tired. Let's get you upstairs." My cell phone buzzed, and I checked the message. It was a reminder that I had a prom committee meeting tomorrow. Prom was just a few weeks away, and we had no theme and no direction, and I had no date. But being on the prom committee meant I had to live la vida prom every day, whether I liked it or not. The kitchen door slammed open, and Ansley called my name. Her voice was frustrated. "AJ!" "Living room," I said. Ansley's long, wheat-colored ponytail swung like a mane behind her as she rushed into the room. "Something's not right with Anna," she said. "What do you mean?" Ryan asked. Oz and Raiden stopped mid-chew. "We didn't do anything," Raiden said, his eyes wide. "I swear." Ansley turned toward them and shook her head. "This isn't about your sad spell-casting attempt to turn her into a Sasquatch. When she woke up this morning with pit hair longer than her ponytail, Aunt Dee fixed her right up. But don't think she won't get y'all back. If we can find her again." "Find her? What's going on?" I asked. "Tryouts were today, right?" Ansley said. "Well, we were doing the routine we always do with the gymnastics bit. You know, with the mid-air acrobatics that always impress everyone." I nodded because I knew exactly what she was talking about. She and Anna had no issues using their super skills to jump a little bit higher than everyone else or to add one extra twist or flip to their routine. It was impressive. Well, something went wrong. Anna didn't land well, which just isn't possible. Seriously, she's like a cat. She never misses her landings. Ever, Ansley said. "Maybe she landed on a rock," Ryan offered. Ansley and I both shot him a look that said, "Yeah, right." "Okay, sorry. Was just trying to help," he said. "Then what happened?" I asked. "She was hurt. Her ankle snapped. I heard it. Of course, it was already starting to heal by the time everyone got to her. But the damage was already done. She'd fallen during tryouts, and everyone heard her bone crack. Well, Malia was there. She knows what kind of cheerleader Anna is. She'll make the team." "That's just it. She didn't make the team. They wrapped her ankle, and she thanked to call the mom to take her to the doctor. But they all think her ankle's broken, which means she'd have to sit out the season. So she didn't make the team. And of course, she's pissed." I sighed. Poor Anna. "She'll get over it," I said. "She'll have to." "She's totally pouting, and she's blaming Malia," Ansley said. "She took off after tryouts." Rick re-entered the room. "Are you talking about Anna?" he asked. Ansley nodded. I sighed. "Where is she?" I asked. "Listen, I know you're communicating with her right now. Tell me where she is, and I'll go get her." "Hang on. Let me see if I can get her to tell me." Ansley closed her eyes and concentrated. I could see by her expression that Anna wasn't cooperating. "She's at O'Reilly's farm. She was going to hide out at the Love Shack to try to cool off," she said finally. "Okay, this is what we're going to do," Rick said. "Your mom is exhausted and doesn't need to worry about her pouting prodigal daughter. Ryan, I want you and AJ to go get her. She needs to be here by dinner." "Can we come too?" Oz asked. "We don't need your help, kid," Ryan said. "Actually, I think that's a great idea," Rick said. "I want you guys all out of the house for a while so your mom can rest. Take the minivan. All of you go and bring your sister home." It's even worse when you read it out loud. That was chapter 1. Alright. Chapter 2 later. Oh god, this is gonna be so hard.